Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here, and welcome back to Late Night with the Davey. This is episode 64, and for those of you stateside, this is a Before Dark episode of Late Night with the Davey. However, for you folks that are across the pond, it is about 9:15 p.m. over there in the UK. So it's been a little bit since we've done one of these, and the reason why, there's a couple reasons why we scooched things around. Okay, so last night I was fortunate enough to be invited to the press screening for Black Phone 2, and last night I was supposed to be on Facci Cinema to watch the producer's cut of Curse of Michael Myers. So Matt was cool enough to let me push everything over to Wednesday night, and I was like, this actually works out great because I can do this Scream franchise ranking earlier in the day, have it be available for that UK audience, and bring on an awesome Scream content creator who's out in the UK and one of my favorite content creators, an amazing voice. M from HORRHER is going to be joining us here. So it just sort of, it lined up. I haven't, you know, all these live Tiermaker rankings that we've done, I've had a great time just kicking it with you guys in the audience, but I was like, well, it would be fun to kind of co-host one of these, especially because the Scream franchise doesn't have quite as many entries as, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday the 13th, all that kind of stuff. So it'll create a little more conversation, and I think M is great at spooky season, so when you can collaborate, why the hell not? So she will be joining us here shortly, but I'm going to say what's up to all of you folks in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. I know it's the middle of the day for a lot of people, so I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I've also got links to HORRHER's YouTube and Instagram in the description, so if you're not already following M, go ahead and give her a sub and a follow on social media. Thank you to the Patreon members, the YouTube channel members. You guys are awesome. Our amazing group of Death Squad mods. Thank you for holding it down and making sure that everything's clean and fun and all that kind of fun stuff. And I guess when I say clean, I don't necessarily mean language, because sometimes I definitely delve into the R-rated here. I just mean clean as far as like bothersome trolls and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to say what's up to all of you guys. We're going to get into this very, very quick. I do want to remind everybody, we're going to jump right in, but I am an affiliate for In Search of Darkness 95 to 99 by the fine folks over at Creator VC. Usually I showcase that on the screen and everything, but I've done that the last few times. There is my affiliate link in the description below. So if you're interested in purchasing a copy of In Search of Darkness 1995 to 1999, please use my affiliate link. It's great because, of course, the money goes to the fine folks over there at Creator VC, but I also get a little bit of a kickback. So it's kind of fun. And these documentaries are amazing. They're 4 or 5 hours, super nerdy deep dives. They are handcrafted for people like us, by people like us, if we're being honest. So yeah, the link is down there in the description. If you want merch and all that kind of fun stuff, there's links in the description as well. But I'm going to jump in and say what's up to all of you guys, and then we'll bring on M and we'll get this live franchise ranking cruising here. Yeah, are you guys having fun doing these? I'm having a good time. We are probably, even outside of spooky season, I'm going to find a way to try to do one of these a week, a live Tiermaker ranking, just because it's so much fun to share it with you guys here. We got King Matthew in the chat. What's happening, King Matthew? Chester Franklin Jr., how you doing? Ashton Luck, what's happening? We got one of our great channel members, Hollywood Lido, in the house, and I think he figured out the voting, so that is awesome. Pumped about that, Lido. We've got Paula Fitzhenry, another one of our great channel members. How you doing, Paula? Lido's dropping his ranking, and it is just right in line of release. All right, there we go. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I'm not going to... I've talked about my ranking enough. I do have a ranking on the site. I think what M and I are going to do, instead of like tipping the scale, so to speak, we'll probably just, you know, we'll just talk about these as we go through the ranking. Let's see, who else do we have in here? Shot by Shot, what's happening? Shoddy, how you doing? We got Jay Beach in the house. How you doing, Jay Beach? There is M from HORRHER. We got Jamie Hart, the original Death Squad mod, our mama mod, and one of our channel members. What's happening, Jamie? We got Mud Nelson. How are you doing, Gav? Great to see you, buddy. One of our great channel members. Hope you're doing well. We've got Linda, aka Terra1016. How you doing, Linda? Great to see you. Hope you've been well. Always a pleasure to see people jumping back in. Let's see what else we got going on here. Brooke Scarlett, the lovely Brooke Scarlett. So she's got Michael Myers behind her. I saw M had Ghostface behind her. These like little AI that, I'm not one of those. I'm not against AI as far as like a blanket thing goes. I think it can be really fun. Like this is a fun little use of it. So whatever. As long as it's not being used to replace people entirely. I think that's kind of where I'm at this point. But I'm not a creative. I'm not a filmmaker, so I probably feel a little bit differently about it. But welcome on in, Brooke, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods as well. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see. We've got a whole bunch of fun folks chatting it up. I love seeing the chat here. Although, Shoddy, I don't know what you're saying right there. I can't read that. Baxter, I don't speak Spanish. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody here, and then we will bring on Miss M from HORRHER. Guys, did everybody check out my Black Phone 2 short? Let me know. I'm curious to know who's going to check out Black Phone 2 in the theater this weekend. We got Hourglass in the chat. Welcome on back in, Hourglass. And we got A-Troll Campbell. What's happening, A-Troll? Always great to have you join us. We got Gina, a.k.a. My Chunky Jordy, one of our great channel members. Gina's been a channel member for like 14 months. Something wild like that. Always a pleasure seeing you, Gina. I love when we can do a stream that's at a good time for you guys out there across the pond. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. I don't think I missed saying hello to anybody. Let me know. Holy cow, we have 22 people watching us. That is amazing, especially considering what time it is out here in the States. Yeah, this is awesome. You guys are incredible. I'm going to give the credit to M bringing the UK crowd. So let's go ahead and bring this up and bring M on in. I think what I'm going to do is do that and do that.
Goodness.
Hey there. How are you doing, Em? I know, I totally, I'm just like, here we are. We're jumping right into it. It's funny. It seems like it was just like 5 or 6 weeks ago that you were on the show, but it was actually like the 30th of July. So it's been a little bit. How have you been and how's spooky season treating you?
I've been okay, thank you. I hope you've been good. Yeah, spooky season's been spooky season. Busy, I think. A lot of work, but yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah. Before we dive into, and it's funny, I wore this shirt specifically for this. You can't even see Ghostface most of the time because I'm probably slouching too much. But can you, for those of folks who, maybe are hearing about you for the first time, or maybe, for whatever reason, they just haven't found your awesome channel yet. Do you want to let us know what you've been up to in spooky season and what you've got coming up? And just so everyone knows, so you don't have to say this yourself, M is like the Scream gal. So if you're a big Scream fan, there's a reason why she's on this stream with us now. So if you're out there in the chat and you're a big Scream fan and you're not already subscribed, an even bigger reason to sub over to HORRHER. But yeah, let us know what you've already put out and what you've got coming up here for the rest of the month.
Yeah, I definitely do love Scream. So I have been uploading a lot of top 10s the past couple of weeks, and I've been focusing on my Scream content on something that I call I Scream Sunday, which is every other Sunday or so I will upload Scream content, but this month I'm trying to upload as much as I can. Based on Scream. But yeah, I've got a lot of sort of top 10s because they seem to do well around this time of year. And I'm also working on a Halloween 1978 documentary, which should be out within the next week or so.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, that's what I've got.
What's your angle with the documentary, or do you not want to share any of that with us at this point?
So it's basically, I like to do sort of like documentary style videos. I've only got a few of them so far on my channel, but it is something I'm heavily going to start focusing on. It's just basically I do the sort of background of it, the making of it, the reception and the impact that they've had on the horror genre. So I did one on Jeepers Creepers about 6 months ago, and I really enjoyed doing that type of content, and it did quite well. So that's the kind of thing that I aim for with my documentary sort of style videos. So, awesome. Hey, Dean.
Yes. Right. We got Dean Renner, one of our great channel members, Patreon members, and Death Squad mods. Destiny Faulkner's in the house as well, another one of our moderators. Welcome on in, Des. Joel from Darkroom Reviews, what's happening? I saw Adrian James jumping on in as well. Sweet. I'm looking forward to, you know, spooky season. It's like I have all these things that I want to do, but then there's so much else going on. I need to be way better about my pre-recorded stuff, but for whatever reason, I just can't stop going live all the time. But I'm going to steal your idea of doing some, top 10s. That's a lot. Maybe top 5s. Maybe I can hang with 5.
You should definitely do it. They're fun to do.
Yeah. So when you're doing your top list, is it like, or you kind of just, is it like favorite moments from the franchise or from the movie, or is it like things that you want? Like because I was thinking about doing some, and I know for everyone in the live chat, we're just sort of talking shop right now, but I was thinking of doing a series where it's like top 5 things I want to see from blank movie for like upcoming movies or whatever.
Nice. So I tend to do like a very of different things. So I've done like top 10 banned horror movies, like movies that have been banned. This week I've got one coming up about top 10 horror movie scenes that were almost cut from movies because they were too extreme, just things like that I enjoy doing. So but sometimes I just do like top 10 movies to watch in October and stuff like that, so it depends on how I'm feeling.
Yeah, for sure. I love the content, guys. Again, if you haven't subbed over to HORRHER, I mean, just listen to this voice, and you're gonna get, this is the live experience, but on the pre-recorded experience, I would say the cadence and the rhythm to M's voice is kind of mesmerizing in a way. It's it's really nice. So heck of a performer and a great content creator. So I'm just gonna say it again, subscribe to her channel. Gosh darn it. You've got to be pretty close to hitting a pretty big milestone here, right, Em?
Yeah, I'm on 933 at the moment. Once I hit 1,000, I'm going to do a Scream documentary style video, but it's going to be longer than the rest of them.
Okay.
So that's my aim, is get to 1,000 by the end of the year is my aim. But yeah, I've got to put that performing arts university degree into action somehow, because I haven't used it for a job, so why not?
Yeah, I think you could get to 1,000 by Halloween.
I'd like to.
So because it's just that this is the time of year where channels like ours are going to get a little more traffic, right? So
True.
You're at 934 right now, so maybe you picked one up since the beginning of the stream.
Thank you.
You could get there. You could get there. I believe in you.
I could. Maybe. We'll see. I mean, my channel's not performing as well as it did last October, but maybe people aren't kind of looking until the next kind of week for Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And there's just so much. I think a lot of people really lay it thick with the horror stuff this year. So maybe there's just a lot of options for people to check out here. Really quick, guys, before we hop into everything else, I do want to let you know, I've got a super chat goal going. Again, this super chat stuff is just the icing on the cake. It's just extra stuff. If you want me to do a Halloween and Halloween 2 double feature watch party, 5 super chats of $5 or more will make it happen. But of course, definitely not a requirement. And then we've got, if you want to participate in the live voting over on the Tiermaker website, that link is pinned in the chat. So you can cast your votes over there. And then I also have a poll in the chat. I'm going to try to get a couple more polls as we go. You can vote on the movies and then vote on the polls in the chat. So right now we have what makes a Scream movie great. The options are Ghostface kills, meta commentary, the opening scene, or the killer reveal. So we have 22 votes. I'll let that fly for a little bit, and then we'll get another one going up there. But yeah, are you ready? Are you pumped? Have you done any of these live Tiermaker rankings as an audience member or as a content creator?
I've done it as an audience member, but never as a content creator. So it's something new for me.
All right. Well, it'll be fun.
You
know, it better be fun. Guys in the live chat, we're relying on you to make it fun. So keep it interesting, okay? You guys know how we'll do this. So we'll have you vote. It'll be 90 seconds to vote on each film. And then, you know, what we'll do is we'll pause after each voting. We'll kind of break down the voting on each film as we go. And please feel free after you vote to, you know, voice your thoughts on that film, or because this ranking does include the TV series, you could voice your opinion on that season of the TV show. Or I think it just breaks it down to the first 2 seasons or 1, and then the 3rd season, which was a separate thing, is another. So we'll get all into that. Let me bring the ranking site over. I think this is the right one. There we go. Okay. How do you feel up there, Em? You're right below the logo. Okay. All right.
I'm good.
Don't worry, guys. We'll get M at some point. I think M, you're gonna make that shift over to on camera. I can feel it. I know it's gonna happen, and I'm gonna keep on being uncomfortably pushy about it because I don't know what boundaries are. Apparently.
No, I definitely will. I was thinking of it tonight, and I was like, do you know what? I've just finished work. I'm going to get in the shower, wash my hair, and look like a rat. So I didn't really want to scare everybody.
No, you're quite all right. You're quite all right. I should do that. And you know what? Maybe this is not the right thing to say. I don't know. But I bet if you started appearing on camera, you could get those 1,000 subs by the end of the month.
Probably.
Right.
I mean, you've got to play on being a woman sometimes, I think, and
sometimes.
That sounds awful,
yeah.
but
no, I think it's totally fair. Look, when common sense starts to feel awful, that means more people are crazy than more people are sane. So I see it all the time. How many women out there talk about like true crime and and I'm not suggesting anyone do this, but they're showing off cleavage, they're pretty, and their channels do great, and it's like, well, I guess I can't blame them, you know. Or like we've joked about ASMR. No one wants to hear a dude do ASMR. Like maybe guys that like guys would like a guy that does ASMR, but like most people and probably even ladies would rather hear a lady's voice or see a lady's face when it comes to the calming thing. Because I don't know if I've mentioned this to you before, and again, I know the live audience is probably like, what's Davey talking about? There's something about when I first started getting the ASMR tingles before I knew what ASMR was, and it was just like I worked at a pizza shop. Somebody's voice on the phone would just make me get all like melty and tingly. I started thinking, well, maybe there's something about ASMR where it's like a distant memory that you have from when you were inside your mother's womb, hearing her voice. And that's why women's voices generally trigger ASMR more than male voices. I don't know.
No,
I'm not a doctor.
It makes sense though.
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. Okay. Really quick before we get going, Gavin dropped a $1.99er. Says I don't get paid until Friday, so this better work with another super chat of $4.99. Thank you so much, Gav. Really appreciate you. Yes, they do have to be the $4.99 or more to count. It's easier. This is crazy, guys. It's easier to do goal of 5 super chats for $5 than it is to do 10 that are $2 for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it's easier. Anyway, M.
Yes.
I hope you are pumped. Guys, let's go ahead and take a look at our categories that we have here. So this is what we got for the voting. The categories, the tippity top is it's a Scream, baby. So that's going to be your best of the best. Sick is the new sane is going to be right underneath there. I had to have some sort of quote from Scream 4 because I love it so much. So there we go. Then in that middle category is look a little tired yourself. And then in that second to bottom, we got cash in run-of-the-mill sequel. Another great quote there. And then in the very, very bottom of the barrel is my mom and dad are going to be so mad at me.
That was a good impression.
Oh, thanks. You know, I watched a lot of Matthew Lillard in my younger years. SLC Punk. I don't know if you've ever seen SLC Punk. I probably bugged you about it last time I had you on. Have you ever seen that?
No.
That is the Academy Award winning Matthew Lillard performance. Like, that's the one that I think is his best overall performance. It's really good. It's based on a comic book that this guy wrote about his experience being like a punk kid in Salt Lake City in the 80s.
Nice.
And oh man, Matthew Lillard is great in that one. It's funny, it's dark, it's got some serious edge going on. Anyways, I highly recommend SLC Punk, but we're not here to talk about that. Jamie, of course, saw it in the theater. Gavin says it rules. Linda loves it. Okay, there we go.
Looks like one I need to watch then.
Yeah, especially if you're a Lillard fan, I would highly recommend it. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this. It looks like, so I never know how these are like, I guess they just go in the order that we see them at the bottom of the screen there. So it looks like we're going to start with the OG Scream. So make sure you have clicked that link that's pinned in the chat so you guys can participate in the voting. Em, are you going to participate in the voting on the site?
I am going to participate in the vote, and if I can find the link there. Ooh,
there it is.
Where is it?
It's pinned in the chat. I pinned it in the chat.
I'm just getting old, I think.
Maybe I should vote too, since you're voting. Usually I don't, but if you're gonna vote, you know what? I'll let the guest vote. I'll remain impartial. But by all means, Em, I want you to vote. And
I mean, I can't find the link, but
it's pinned in the chat, right? Is it not pinned in the chat, guys? Did I screw something up?
I can only see the poll. It's probably just me, to be fair.
So it says cast your votes for the Screen Tiermaker ranking here. It's just above the poll there.
I can't see that. No, it's just me. It must just be me because I cannot see that.
Here's what I'll do,
sit this one out.
Guys. I will drop it in the main chat right now. So there you go. If you want to click it from the main chat. There you are.
Star.
Oh, I try to be.
Thank
I try
you.
to be. Us sultry voiced people have to stick together. You know what I mean?
You do indeed.
I don't get to say sultry voiced very much, so I'm happy to be able to pull that hyphenated phrase out. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and get this going. 90 seconds to vote on the original Scream from 1996 begins right now. There we go. The event has officially started. I mean, you know, the original Scream, it's kind of like last week when I did the Halloween franchise ranking. It's like, what can you say about this movie that hasn't already been said? You know, similar to the first Halloween. It's just an absolute classic. I don't think I have any complaints on the original Scream film. Davey, you shared the StreamYard join link. Oh my goodness. That is embarrassing. That's terrible. How did I do that? Well,
it's terrible. That's awful, if I'm honest.
I'm gonna getting rid of that shit. So anyone can just join the stream now. Let's see here. I must have just forgotten to, when I highlighted it, actually click the copy button. All right, so 35 seconds left for that first Scream film. Let's see here. Cast your votes here. There we go. Just going to keep that simple. All right, there you go, everybody. Sorry about that confusion.
You're good.
I swear at some point I'll figure this whole thing right. Why did it do it again?
I don't know. But I did manage to click on it on the pinned, and I accidentally clicked the wrong flipping ranking because I'm an idiot.
I don't know what's going on. Oh, there. That's what's going on. Okay. Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm going to pause the voting. Good effing Christ.
This is all my fault. See, this is why you shouldn't have me on, really.
No. It's because I'm looking at the Tiermaker thing, but I'm looking at it through StreamYard. So there we go. There is the actual link. So it is user error on my part. There we go, guys. Okay, sorry about all that confusion. There is the live Tiermaker. It is it's all there to behold. And let's take a look here as I sweat bullets over yet another terrible mistake on a live stream. So we had 11 voters on the very first Scream film from 1996. All 11 votes went in the top category for It's a Scream Baby. So there you go. So it's going to be tough to budge that one out of place there. Let's see what we got. Holy cow, 28 people are hanging out with us right now. Em, how cool is that?
That's awesome. That's
how
really
cool
cool.
are you amazing people? Super Tenors jumping on in. What's happening? One of our great channel members. Denise Wheat, a channel member and Patreon member. What's happening, Denise? We got T. Parker Evans. What's happening? Yeah, Dean, thank you so much for the heads up on that, man. It's so funny because I just grabbed the, oh my God, such an idiot. You would think I was out of my mind high on something, but no, sober as a bird. Okay, so there we go. The very first Scream movie, of course, no surprises there, being ranked in the tip top. We got Jeremy Caesar joining us as well. Yeah, guys, I would imagine for most people, at least if you like this franchise, if you're not Frank Riker, then you would put the first Scream here in the top category. Em, how old were you the very first time you saw the first Scream movie?
I believe so. It would have been when it came out within that year. So it came out in 96. So I would have been about 7 or 8 when I first saw it.
Oh, wow. Just a little kid.
Yeah.
But very impressionable.
Yeah, it's that's probably why I go around slashing people. I'm joking, I don't do that. No, I was very young when I watched it, and it's been my favorite movie ever since. So yeah, had to be top tier for me.
Yeah, awesome. Love it. Okay, guys. So yeah, no qualms there. The very first Scream film is right at the tippy top. Let's go ahead and get the ranking continuing here, because up next is the only thing in the franchise I haven't seen is the Scream, the reboot TV series. I think this one was produced, I'm pretty sure it was produced by Mary J. Blige was one of the producers here. But this is the Scream TV show. I'm not sure exactly quite how you feel about that one, Em. You should definitely let me know. But this, it started to kind of fall off towards the end. And so I just never watched this one because I was like, oh, they're going back to the traditional Ghostface. I'm just not sure.
The series overall for me was quite predictable, and I didn't really enjoy it. It was okay, but it's not something I would probably watch again.
I think I've seen the first 2 seasons twice. And yeah, the first season I would say is pretty predictable. I guess I didn't see the twist that they were bringing into the second season, but I did really enjoy the characters. Some of the characters had really interesting arcs as well. What's her face? Who's why can't I remember her name? The Brooke? Is that the character's name?
Yeah. I know.
You think you're just going to hate this character so much. And then throughout the 2 seasons, she really has a believable arc that I quite enjoyed.
Yeah, the characters were good. It's just, I don't know, there's just something about it that I couldn't fully get into.
Yeah, no, I hear you. TV is I guess I was impressed because I thought an MTV show would be even worse, but I was like, oh, okay, it was decent, it surprised me. And speaking of which, so really quick, the 3rd season of the Scream TV show, so we've got the 2 opposite sides of the spectrum here. The original Scream up in the tippity top, and then the 3rd season of the Scream TV show is down in my mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. And let's take a look at the voting there. So 12 voters, 6 of those votes were in that bottom category. 3 votes for Look a Little Tired Yourself, 2 for Sick is the New Sane, and 1 for Cash In Run-of-the-Mill sequel. Yeah, I guess I'm not surprised with that. I'm curious to see where you people put the first 2 seasons of the show, because that is next. So we have 89 seconds for you guys to vote on the first 2 seasons of the Scream TV show, which we kind of already talked about. So I'm curious to know what you guys have to say in the live audience. If you're catching this right now, We got Brett from Good Real Hunting, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods at work, but listening. I love it, Brett. Hope you're doing well. Hope work is flying along smoothly for you. Yeah, this one, what's her face? Willa Fitzgerald? Is that her name?
Well, the one that plays Emma.
Yeah. She's pretty good in this, but what she really blew me away in was Strange Darling from 2024.
I still haven't seen that.
That's where I was like, holy cow. Like, she was, she's good in the Scream show as like your Sydney surrogate kind of thing, but man, in Strange Darling, that's one of the best movies of 2024, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I did like her in The Fall of the House of Usher, though. I don't know if you saw that.
I haven't seen that. Okay,
That's quite
I'll
good.
check that out. Is that one of those Mike Flanagan shows?
Pass. I'm so rubbish at things like that.
I think it is. I think it's one of the Mike Flanagan miniseries kind of things.
Yeah, like the same as the what's it called?
The Hill House Haunting.
Yeah,
that's it. Haunting of Hill House. Yeah, and yeah, she is. So Strange Darling, there's only like a handful of performers. It's a very intimate story. It's told in chapters that are out of order, so it's got a little bit of that Tarantino kind of feel.
Nice.
The visuals are great. Like it's it's well worth the time for sure. So let's see here. The Scream TV show, the first 2 seasons with the Brandon James mask, that is right in the middle. So it's Look a Little Tired yourself. So it looks like you guys don't hate that as much as I've heard some people do. So that's nice to see there. 12 votes on this one. 5 of the 12 votes are right in that middle category. Look a Little Tired yourself. We also had 5 votes from My Mom and Dad Are Going to Be So Mad at Me, but it looks like what kicked that one up a notch were was the 1 vote for It's a Scream Baby and the 1 vote for Cash In Run of the Mill sequel. So there you go. Right smack dab in the middle. And let's see, I think we've got Scream 6 coming up next. I'm super curious about this one. Let me jump on over and just make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat here. You guys are awesome in the chat. Thank you so much for chit-chatting with one another here. First season was pretty suspenseful, says A. Troll Campbell. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Fall of House of Usher is excellent. Binged it twice already. Going to do a 3rd time. I need to get into all of those Flanagan series because I have not seen one. I haven't even seen like Midnight Mass or any of those. So
you call yourself a horror fan? Terrible.
I know. I'm way behind on the limited series kind of stuff. That's for damn sure. And holy cow, Brett says Scream 6 is my favorite sequel. Let's go ahead and open up voting on this one for Scream 6. We got just under 90 seconds for you guys to vote on this one. The poster might be cooler than the movie, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
This movie, for me, the first 2/3 I dig. There's a lot to like here, but unfortunately the final act of the movie is such a rug pull that it distracted me and kind of just made me put me in a sour mood for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I get that completely. It's my least favorite out of the movies. I like it, I enjoy it, but it's definitely my least favorite. And I think what ruins it is that it does try a little bit too hard to be different in certain aspects, but then it tries too hard to be the same so it's kind of like it's a bit contradictory to me. And I really don't like the chase scene with Gale. Like everybody was ranting and just raving about it, and I was like, to me it just feels very forced, and I didn't really enjoy that scene. And I love a good chase scene.
There were certain things in this movie where I was like, wait, Gale lived? Like at the end of the movie, I was like, what? Like I thought she was done for. Like, how do you get stabbed right there in your chest or whatever? And make it out. I think that's one of the things with radio silence is like they want to have their cake and eat it too. And I think they just land right in the middle for me, where they're just not pushing the needle at all. They're not moving it. I'm just like, I don't know if you guys really understand this franchise, but you understand like certain elements of the franchise that the 2 movies they did are passable, but they don't do anything like fresh. I mean, if you consider Ghostface using a shotgun in a bodega fresh, that's like a very, very low bar. So that's like a tiny little moment that people talk about, and it's hardly anything. And Ghostface has used guns before, so it's not like really like that crazy or wild.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do agree with that. I'm with you. I mean, like I've just seen Gina say Mindy ruined 6. I agree with that. I really liked Mindy in 5, but in 6 she did not do it for me at all. She was so annoying. But I think that the issue is that it's meta, but in a different way, and that's where it loses it, because the original movie, the original sort of trilogy, I would say, and 4 in a lot of ways is very meta, but with other movies, whereas 5 and 6 are just meta towards Scream, that it doesn't bring anything sort of from the outside of the Scream universe in as much. There's like a few name drops here and there, but that's about it, and it just doesn't fully hit for me.
Yeah, it's true. Like in Scream 5, Richie, when he's like watching all the trailers and stuff for Stab 8 or whatever, it's like they're trying to predict what people are going to say about their own movie. As they trash Scream 4, even though they don't name it, I'm pretty sure Mindy is, or not, not Mindy, what's her face? The killer chick, Miss
Amber.
Yeah, Amber weighs 100 pounds and picks up Dewey. That's a whole different thing. But she's the one that basically says, like, we had to kill Dewey because this isn't a, cash-in, run-of-the-mill sequel. And I'm just like, bitch, are you talking about Scream 4? Because that movie's way better than this one. That's kind of like, maybe I'm like maybe I'm too sensitive to it. But I was like, how dare you? How dare this movie talk bad about that movie? I don't know. Maybe I am a little too precious about it. I could be. And I love that Gina says, I hate 6, bite me. I'm not a big fan either. So you don't have to tell me to bite you. It's okay. I'm agreeing with you here. T. Parker Evans says Scream 6 is the only cash-in run-of-the-mill sequel in the franchise. I don't see the point of this movie other than to make a modern Scream 2 and disrespect the legacy characters. Too gimmicky, in my opinion. Yeah.
I get that completely.
Yeah. I found Scream 6 to just not be a very good Scream movie. I honestly don't think Radio Silence understands the franchise. Yeah. That's why I'm excited for Kevin to come back, since it's ultimately his baby. And hopefully they can make it feel like Wes is there. I think that's like one of the things we're missing. Big time, because even though Wes just directed those movies and didn't write them, he did, I think, kind of reinvigorate slashers with the first one, and then I think the fourth one reinvigorated them again. So within one single franchise, and he did it with A Nightmare on Elm Street with the first movie and then New Nightmare, he's able to like almost reboot within a franchise and make it fresh again. And Radio Silence didn't do anything fresh.
No, they didn't. And I think, like, the movie we're about to get into, obviously Scream, or Scream 5.
I'll go ahead and start the voting on Scream 5. So, well, wait, no, go ahead. Finish your thought, and then I'll do the roundup.
We can do it at the same time. It's absolutely fine. I was just going to say that was supposed to be sort of the tribute to Wes Craven, but I think Scream 7 is going to be the tribute more than anything. It didn't hit for me completely. I remember coming out of the cinema for Scream 5 and being very disappointed.
Yeah, I didn't even see it in the theater because I was just like, what? They called it Scream. I was like, just call it Scream 5. Why are they doing? And honestly, I just was like, I don't know if it was just a point where I know I wasn't seeing a lot of movies in the theater back in 2022. But I think it came out really soon on streaming after it hit the theaters, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it did.
Wasn't
It
it like
did.
a month after?
It wasn't long
but
after.
But I watched it like back to like one day and then the next day watched it again. Just to kind of like see how it sat after, because sometimes these movies feel different after you know the reveal. And
Yeah.
it was the first time in the franchise where like I called who the killers were. That first hospital scene, I was like, oh gosh, I think it's this chick and this guy. I don't know. It was just whatever it was. It was just like the way the moments played or the way the performers were playing there, where I was like, that's my inkling. You know, I don't know. Scream 5. There's some things I really like about it. Like, I think Jenna Ortega is fine. She's really not much of a factor here. I think Melissa Barrera is good.
She's okay in 5. She's
yeah. She's much better in 6, right?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I prefer 5 to 6 because I think 5's the better movie out of the two. But I think that Jenna Ortega was better in 5 and not so good in 6. But then Melissa Barrera was not so good in 5 but better in 6.
Yeah. I've noticed, I don't know what it is. I mean, in this franchise, there's been like conflict between characters and all that stuff, but I don't know if it's like a more like modern filmmaking thing, but like a lot of characters are like really like bratty and shitty and like cunty to each other. Like for almost it just almost seems like this like foundational starting point for a lot of screenwriters when they don't know how to like make stakes and build like proper tension. They're just like, well, we're just gonna have a bunch of characters that don't get along or like shitty to one another. Like, you know, I just rewatching Scream the other day, Scream 5. Sam is like super bitchy to like Sydney and Gail, and I'm just like, why? Like for no reason. She's just like, why do I have to put up with this? And it's just like, oh my god. But you know, Mason Gooding is like super charming and awesome. So there's like, you know, Scream 5, it's like you got some really good stuff to work with and some stuff that's sort of, you know, middle of the road. Wow, this is shocking though. I don't know if you're seeing the screen. Like, let's talk about this. So Scream 6. So going back one voting round, Scream 6 got 13 votes, and it is in Sick is the New Sane because it got 4 votes there. It also got 4 votes for Cash In Run of the Mill Sequel, 2 votes for Look a Little Tired Yourself, and 3 votes for My Mom and Dad Are Gonna Be So Mad at Me. So I don't know what really tipped it to being Sick is the New Sane. Is it because I have most votes instead of average vote? I wonder, can I change this mid? I'm curious. I don't want this to screw up everything. I'm curious. Okay, so if we do average vote, it goes down. Maybe average vote is the way to go. But let's do this. We'll just stick with what we've got. So yeah, Scream 6 ends up in the second to best category. Sick is the New Sane.
Probably because there was quite a few in Kashudaran, but I don't know. That's a weird one that it's ended up right at the bottom.
Yeah. Let's just move the goalposts and do average vote. And then jumping into Scream 5, which got 10 votes. That one is in the very bottom. My Mom and Dad Are Going to Be So Mad at Me, because it got 5 votes in that category. 2 votes for Cash In Run of the Mill Sequel, 2 votes for Look a Little Tired Yourself, and 1 vote for Sick is the New Sane. So that is surprising to me.
I'm feeling the same as you. I'm a bit shocked at that one.
Yeah, this is like, guys, this is shaking me to my core. Not really, but you know, it's like I did one for like horror or slasher villains, and people ranked the remake Leatherface like in the top category and the original Leatherface below, and I was like, what?
That's a sin. That's blasphemy.
Like, if the remake's going to be in the top, why can't the original? Like, he's awesome. There's nothing wrong with the original Leatherface. He's great. He's great. And yes, it's wild to Linda as well. Yeah, she's having a tough time with it also. Brett says better not change it. What's happening, Gory Tiger? How you doing?
Gory.
JG, welcome on in. JG Michael. Hopefully I'm not missing anyone else. We are just rocking and rolling here. Okay, so God, gosh, Scream 6 all the way up there. You guys are crazy.
Very.
Okay, let's see what we got coming up next. So, guys, we're already like, you know, kind of nearing the end here. Scream 4. Oh, God, I really love this movie. I don't care if it looks like Vaseline's rubbed on the camera for half of it. I don't care.
That was done for a reason, though, so I can see past that.
Mm-hmm. And I heard that on the whatever version that they're preparing now, that they're doing something to sort of even that out or not make it look as stark. But yeah, I really love this movie. I don't know. This is my second favorite in the franchise right here.
I always bounce between Scream 2 and Scream 4 as my second favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Scream 4 was so ahead of its time as well.
Yeah, I think that's what pushes it for me, and just with like the Wes kind of taking it up a notch with the gore and everything here, and doing something that, like, I mean, he pushes the gore so much for 2011 that there's like Terrifier level gore in this movie.
Yeah, that Olivia kill is just chef's kiss for me.
Yeah. And it doesn't really, I don't know, man. Emma Roberts' performance is one of the best in the franchise. So
she plays Jill very well.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like Jill for whatever. I guess they just don't like the idea that she's more of like a mastermind.
I like that.
You know, I mean, so was Roman. Billy is to an extent, although I know that Billy's doing a lot of the killing in the first one as well. But he's still the mastermind there. Okay, so we've got Scream 4. Voting is all rounded out. It's going to be Scream 3 coming up next. But let's take a look here at the Scream 4 voting. We had 11 voters.
Nice.
So it ended up in Sick is the New Sane with 4 votes in that category. 3 votes in It's a Scream Baby. 2 votes in Look a Little Tired Yourself, and 1 vote each for Cash In Run-of-the-Mill sequel. Must
Those
be radio silence in the chat.
Yeah,
No,
they need to get out of the chat.
And then my mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. Got 1 vote as well. So there you go. Snuggled right up next to Scream 6. Ugh.
That's mad. That is mad. I'm shocked.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Let's see what folks are saying here in the chat. Sick is the New Sane. Jill is a sick badass. Yes. Oh yeah. No, she is. That's what's up. That performance, man, throwing herself around like that. Emma Roberts could have had the easiest Hollywood career with who her dad is and who her aunt is, and she must be a big horror fan because she chooses that genre, you know, and I respect the hell out of that. And you know, I just love seeing performers like give it their all, and she really does, as does her stunt double in the film. Dean says 5 and 6 are like forcing someone to eat something they don't like and telling them no, it's actually good. Yeah, it's like all those times. I can't tell you how many times in my like late 20s and early 30s I would hang out with a chick, and she would like try to put on Radiohead. And after I told her that I just wasn't into the band, and she just kept on every time we hang out, just keep on putting on. Like at some point it's going to click that I like Radiohead all of a sudden. No. And that's how I feel about Scream 5 and 6. Let's see here. JG Michael doesn't like Scream 4 very much. Okay, so he's one of those bottom tier voters there.
Him and Radio Silence, like you said.
Yeah, yes, they jumped in. They're like, what the hell? I heard this guy said Abigail was a B-. Which I did. T. Parker says, since Scream 6 is so high, Scream 2, 4, and 3 should be on par with the original. I hear you. It is like, it's hurting my feelings that Scream 6 is so high there. Paula loves Scream 4. Linda doesn't care much for Scream 4. Okay. All right. Hollywood Lido loves Scream 4. It was incredibly prescient regarding social media. Yeah. Ahead of its time. It was saying things that people are saying now in movies. You know? I think that's the cool thing about going back to that movie. And like, you know, Wes was, let's be honest, an old guy making that movie, and it looked fresh, like it was like he had handed the movie off to a young filmmaker that then raised the bar for the franchise. That's what the film has the appearance of, you know, that it is essentially a reboot, but it's the same guy. I think that's what's, you know, just extra impressive for me about that movie there. Okay. Are we ready to round things out here? I think we've got just 2 more left in the franchise. So coming up next, we've got Scream 3. The oft maligned Scream 3. I think especially when it was just 3 of these movies, for those of us who can remember back to then. Scream 3 was sort of like the, oh god, Scream 3, what a joke. But now it sort of looks different now that we have 6 of these movies, you know? What are your thoughts on not only just your thoughts on Scream 3, but like maybe how they've changed in time, or just how you viewed the change of Scream 3's reception and legacy throughout the years?
I actually really used to not like Scream 3. It just, for me, it felt like it was too campy and fun, and I know why they did that. But for me, at the time of, up until I would say the release of Scream 5, I did not fully appreciate Scream 3. I will be honest there, but I actually really love Scream 3 now. It's I think it's a classic, and there were moments in that movie, I feel, that were also ahead of the time. The voice changer, etc., the cleverness behind it, although it's not Kevin Williamson's writing, and you can really tell that, it still makes for a great movie. I think personally that it is a lot better than 5 and 6. When you compare it to those two movies seem very fan fictiony and very out of place, and Scream 3 just sort of sits right in place with 1, 2, and 4 for me then.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think Scream 3, it's like it leans, the first movie had those parody qualities to them, where the first movie is, it's a legit slasher whodunit, but it also has a very lighthearted, openly lighthearted moments. I think more so than the sequel, than Scream 2. So Scream 3 seems to just kind of jump back into that and really sort of, relish in the silliness of the meta and the parody. So I think now, looking back at the 6 movies, it's easier to see how Scream 3 sort of carves out its own spot. And doesn't, even though it does have, yes, all of these movies have opening awesome kill, Scooby-Doo mystery, Sydney runs for her life but makes it, unmask the killer, killer explains their whole plot moments. Those are the tenets that we've gotten used to, but Scream 3, with everything in between, does find a way to do something totally different than I think any of the other movies does. And it brings in some, Parker Posey's amazing in Scream 3. She is, I love her in everything, but she's really funny here, and it's not cringy funny. It is legit funny. So I understand if people don't want that in their slasher, but I think it works, and I think it eases some of the tension. And more when I watch this movie throughout the years, I don't know what it is about the brother-sister connection that hits me harder. With Roman and Sydney at the end, especially, and I know we talked about this when you're on the show at the end of July, but just for anyone that's relatively new to the channel, that moment where he grabs her hand and holds her hand and looks up at her, and it's almost like he's got a look on his face, a look of realization of oh wow, I could have just had this person in my life, even though my mom rejected me. I could have had a sister, and I didn't have to do what I did. And I know I'm projecting that onto the look, but I just think that speaks to Scott Foley's performance there in that moment. And so, Scream 3, I never disliked it, but I've certainly I appreciate a lot more about it now than I did previously.
100%.
Let me see here. We got Destiny Faulkner says Scream 3 is my favorite sequel. JG Michael, it was very nice seeing Lance Henriksen in Scream 3. He's really good here. When is he not?
True.
Patrick Dempsey's really good too. Yeah. It is, and I guess ahead of its time in that it blatantly is calling out the producers of the film within their own film. So there's even a meta thing that didn't quite come out until the whole Me Too thing, really. That's kind of an odd thing to think about with this movie. that they really are commenting on the Weinsteins as they're making a movie that the Weinsteins are helping to finance and produce.
And isn't that kind of like just perfect in a way?
Yeah.
It's so, I don't know, I just, because of everything that happened with those two, and obviously how they are obviously not held very high in people's estimations.
Yeah.
It's just perfect to know that behind the scenes there were digs at them because they knew what was going on behind the camera.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I just wonder how uncomfortable it was for those guys. They're like, is this movie just being, is this just coincidence, or do these guys know exactly what kind of weird shit we're up to? We do. Okay, yeah, let's honor Carrie Fisher's hilarious in this movie.
She is. She's
in
brilliant.
her little moment that it goes, it's an extra layer of meta because she's not playing herself but references herself. Yeah, man, this movie's got layers. Scream 3, don't count it out. You know, it's my least favorite out of Wes's movies, but they're all really close for me. Like they are. The first 4 movies are all really close. Okay, let's see here. We are down to our final film in the franchise, and then we'll do a little roundup. But let's take a look at Scream 3 first. It ended up in It's a Scream Baby, right next to the original.
Nice.
With 7 votes in the top tier category. Out of 10 voters, 7 of you guys put Scream 3 in the tippity top. 2 of you put it down in Sick is the New Sane, just right below. And one of y'all called it a cash-in, run-of-the-mill sequel. I think there's one person out there that's just voting that on every movie, including the first one, which makes no sense. All right, let's jump on into the very final film. I believe, yes, Scream 2. Yeah, so we're going to jump on into Scream 2. The voting has started. There you go, guys. Scream 2. I missed the first movie in the theater for whatever reason. Because I don't know if it was really like, I think it was kind of a sleeper hit, that very first movie. At least at the age I wasn't old enough to go see an R-rated movie in the theater when it came out. I was just 14. So I ended up seeing it on VHS, but I ended up getting one of my parents getting me into Scream 2 opening night in the theater. Talk to me about Scream 2.
I love Scream 2 so much. For me, one of the things that really does make it as well is the soundtrack. It's just perfect. I was, again, I saw this not too long after it came out. One of my brother's girlfriends had it on video and lent it to us. So I was under 10 when I first saw this one as well. And it's one of the most suspenseful scenes in any Scream movie is when Sydney and Hallie are in the taxi. Not taxi, sorry, in the car, and they have the police car. Yeah. And they have to climb out and get past Ghostface. That scene for me is just perfect. Like, I love that scene so much. It's just,
yes.
And I love the killers. Not many people like Mrs. Loomis, but she's actually one of my favorite killers. I think Laurie Metcalf portrayed her perfectly, and there's just so much about this movie that is perfect. It's how a sequel should be done. And it's funny because of the classroom chat that they have about sequels being better than the original. For me, this is almost better than the original.
Oh, really?
Almost. Scream is my favorite movie ever, but it's so close to being, if not on par, better than. It's so close.
It's a great extension. Like, it's a good, if you only had the first 2 movies, that would feel like a complete story. So I think that's like a really good sign. A sign of a good sequel is that it feels like a natural follow-up. And if the series just happened to end on that helicopter shot of Sydney walking through the quad there, then it would have felt like we had some, resolution to everything. And yes, Oracle 684, welcome on in. I saw you join us a few minutes ago. The soundtrack is a banger. I mean, you have Less Than Jake on this soundtrack, so yes. I'll take all that you got. And Jerry O'Connell singing the song as well in the movie, which is
cringy, but
I love it. I'm like, that's so cool that they got him to do it, and he was willing to have some fun with that. That it's just, he's not good at singing. That's the whole thing. Yeah, Scream 2. So I think my hot take about Scream 2, I'll go ahead really quick. I'll just kind of summarize the votes here on this one as the voting is closed. So we had 13 votes on Scream 2, and it's a Scream, baby, right next to the original. So you guys ranked the first three movies pretty much in order. So yeah, Scream number 1, Scream 2, Scream 3, 3. Scream 2 had 8 of its 13 votes in that top category. 2 of its votes in Sick is the New Sane, 2 in Look a Little Tired Yourself, and 1 in My Mom and Dad Are Gonna Be So Mad at Me. Oof.
That's criminal.
Scream 2 hurt somebody's feelings there on that one. So my hot take with Scream 2, I think the opening scene it might be the best in the franchise.
It's brilliant.
I love it so much, and I love it for a few reasons. The couple going to the movie and talking about the movies, there's just something like so like fresh and like Scream like about that. And it's the first sequel, so we didn't know, like, it's so difficult to follow up that opening. The opening in the original Scream is like one of the greatest horror openings of all time. Like, you know, not only having Drew Barrymore back in there after, you know, she had gone through a massive lull in her career, so this was sort of like a comeback for her. And then just like the shock of the way everything plays out in that first scene. But man, you step into this movie and you pretty much know, you're like, okay, I'm guessing these two characters aren't going to make it. But the way that they, you know, unfurl everything for you, I think is done really well. I love the commentary on, Jada Pinkett Smith's character just kind of ripping on what slasher movies do, but then the boyfriend giving her the business right back. So I really like that kind of chemistry there. And, whatever about like what Jada's done with her career since then. But man, like her in Demon Knight and her in Scream 2, I think they're pretty solid performances. And I love just the public slaying. You know, she's literally like the movie ends on a stage, and the ending of the first scene ends on a stage. You know, a bloody stage. So it's a really cool kind of cinematic language that they're using there that you don't really, quite understand until you've watched the whole film. And I mean, yeah, this movie, the Gale and Dewey stuff is really good. Love all that drama between them. And
Best
even though
of Gale as well.
Yeah, she's like, she learned something, and I think in all the other movies, she always goes back on what she has learned. But I think in Scream 2, it seems like it really is going to be a turn for her character. Unfortunately, they never stuck with that turn, really. But, other things in this movie that really work for me, I agree with you on the killers. I dig the reveal on the killers. Laurie Metcalf playing the Aw Shucks, kind of podunk reporter character, while she is orchestrating the whole thing. She's, her son got it from her, apparently, the organizational skills. And Timothy Olyphant, man, really, really entertaining. One of my favorite lines in the whole movie is when he does the Billy's mother. I don't know what it is. It just cracks me up. And there's one other thing. What was you had mentioned it, the transport scene with the police. That is that's some of the best tension there. I think for some people, and I think I saw a little bit of it in the chat here. I know you guys are very, very active in the chat. So, okay, Brett brings up a good point here. Scream 2 is sadly going down lately. Middle act is too slow. I kind of see what you're saying there, Brett. And I think Sydney's sidelined for a nice chunk of this movie too. And I think that maybe for some people that don't appreciate this movie as much, maybe that plays into it. But I really love Scream 2. I think it's a super solid sequel. It's my third favorite in the franchise. And yeah, I love everyone's got that red tint in their hair. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing where they're like, we're just going to do this so everyone knows that you're looking at a picture of Scream 2. If you see a still image and they've got red highlights, then you know it's Scream 2.
It's like Dewey's like nice streaks, and it's like blatant, But
but he's kind of got he's got the highlights. Randy, it seems like they all have got them.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. So okay, guys, let's take a look. Let's break down the whole ranking as you guys voted. So in our top category, representing 38% of the franchise here, we've got The original Scream, Scream 2, and Scream 3 are all in It's a Scream, baby. And then in that second tier, right below it, Sick is the New Sane, 25% of the franchise. We've got Scream 4, and oddly enough, I'm still having a tough time coming to terms with it, Scream 6 in there as well, believe it or not. Wild stuff. Now, in Look a Little Tired Yourself there, Gail, we've got the first 2 seasons of the MTV Scream television series, representing 13% of the franchise. I'm happy to say none of these movies were put in the cash-in run-of-the-mill sequel category. So nothing there, but representing 25% of the franchise in the lowest of the low. My mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. We've got the 3rd season of the Scream TV show and Scream 5, or Scream, from 2022. So there is the ranking. Holy cow. Scream 6. Sick is the new saying.
Shocking.
Wow.
Ashamed of yourselves. No, I'm joking.
Here's what I'm gonna say is, for anybody that is watching this after the fact, if you jump in on the replay, let me know your ranking. Let us know your ranking down there. Let us know if anything like shocked or surprised you about the ranking here that the live audience voted on. And we had an awesome live audience today. 28 people are still kicking it with us. So the Scream franchise brings out the folks, and then M brings out all the rest. Yeah, M, really quick before we, while we have a captive audience, and while I have you captive as well, what are there any juicy tidbits, or is there anything that you're really looking for in Scream 7, or that you have an inkling for? I know you talk about these things quite often, but just for, since you're over here now, I'm just curious to know, is there something that you really want to see, or something that you feel like we're really going to get in Scream 7?
I think the main thing that I'm really wanting to see in the movie is a good story, because I don't feel like we've had that in the past 2 movies. The story's sort of been either contradictory or just not, it hasn't flowed very well. So I really want to see a bit of that. And I do want to see them taking risks. So as much as I love Gail, I do think it's her time to pop her clogs, so to speak. I love her, and I love Courtney Cox so much, but I just don't think I'd like to see her redeem herself and then her go out with a bang. A lot of people really like Dewey's death because they think it was fitting for Dewey. I'm one of those people who thinks that Dewey's death was complete bullshit, excuse my language, and that that wasn't his character. He wouldn't have done that for me. That just wasn't fitting to him. So I want to see something that would fit Gail, and I want to see her redeem herself and then utilize Gail much more than what they did in 6, at least. They're my main things that I'm looking for, and I am really excited to see a Sydney-centric story again, because Sydney for me is my favorite final girl. Love Neve Campbell, love what she has to give. So I'm excited to see that, and I hope they do well with her whole family dynamic. And I don't want to see Stu alive. Sorry, guys.
I don't want to see that either. And I think the reason why I don't want to see Stu alive is because I think it's a very tough writing task to have it play well, and to have it not be like cheesy or dumb, or, Scream is relatively grounded. Of course, like all of these franchises do like crazy stuff, but Scream is relatively grounded, and to do what would essentially be a massive retcon like that, like bringing back a quote unquote dead character, I just think it's a little too soap opera-y, a little too like something they would do in Friday the 13th or Halloween, know? And I just think it very, very difficult task for the writing. So
it doesn't fit in the franchise for me.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I think they're gonna, when Wes and Kevin put this thing together originally, it was no secret that it was very influenced by Halloween. They wanted to put their own kind of spin on like a Halloween type story. So I think they're gonna take a page out of Halloween Kills' book, and I think we're gonna see a flashback of the night that Maureen Prescott was killed. I think that's going to be our opening kill.
I hope so. I really, really hope so.
So I don't think it's going to be, maybe they will use AI in some way, perhaps with David Arquette or something. But I think as far as Stu, Billy, and Roman go, I think we're going to see the night that everything started. Because I think that what Kevin's going to try to do here, I know they're already doing pre-production for part 8. I would imagine he would come back and direct that as well. I think what Kevin's trying to do is close the book on it by the end of 8. So what would make sense to me from a storytelling standpoint, and I would imagine that even though he didn't write the script, I still fully believe that he's going to take a look at it and take a pass at it. Maybe not put his name on it, but make sure that he can, fix anything that he thinks needs fixing. So I think we're going to see the night it all began, and then by the end of his 8th film, we're going to be able to finally close a chapter, and whether or not they reboot it or do something, or just start with a new cast of characters after that. I think that's what we're going to get. And maybe that's just because I think that that's what would work best. Everyone loves the flashback and Halloween Kills. So why not?
They do. I think after 8, they just need to let it rest, even if it's just for a bit. I think I don't want to see them overkill it. And it does leave room then for, Melissa and Jenna to possibly come back to appease the Melissa and Jenna fans. It does leave that open as well, that they could possibly come back in the future if they wanted to, without it being so stupid.
Sure.
There is that. I hope they let it rest for a little bit after 8.
I think so too. And I wouldn't mind if the rights change hands or something like that, just so we get a little something different. And then if the rights change hands, then that would probably at some point open up a bigger door for Melissa to come back, and then Jenna to follow there. Brett says here, I honestly want to see Ghostface win at the end of the film. Go ballsy. Since they've already announced they're working on part 8, we could see that in some form, even if they catch one of the Ghostface killers, or what I mean, that there would be some sort of cliffhanger. I can't believe they haven't done that yet. Where
they will.
That to me would be, because I know all the Scream fans, I've seen Dean has mentioned it every time we talk about Scream. There's always somebody that mentions it, time to break the formula, guys. Time to just break it a little bit.
I agree.
Lito says the flashback kill of Maureen is going to be the opening. I'm all but ready to guarantee that. I think that would be an awesome way. Because here's the thing too, Lito. I don't know if you are familiar with Lito, but he's actor, composer, really, really, if you've seen, have you seen the Michael Myers with the surfboard? Topless Michael Myers with the surfboard? That's Lito. Yeah. That's him.
I remember you saying actually on my because he popped into my live in the chat, didn't he?
I just can't stop talking about topless Lito. I don't know.
I think you've got a fan there, Lito. I think
maybe
Davey's exploring something there he doesn't want to.
Stalker status achieved. I can totally see this being the opening, and I think it'll catch everybody up. So maybe people that are brand new to the franchise, and then the diehards, it's going to give us a window into that world that we've only heard about without giving us a full prequel kind of thing. But I think it would be cool to see that moment. And maybe even we see Cotton leaving, or just they could really, really kind of show it from Sydney's perspective and why she was so confused and why, all that kind of stuff. So
I think having them do that, bringing all these people back, there's only one scene that can really make that. Even Dewey, there's only one scene really that you can think of, and that is definitely Maureen's death. I think it's interesting because Billy and Cotton had very similar hairstyles. So when Sydney saw Billy wearing the coat, she obviously thought that was Cotton, and I really want to see that. I want to see them put that into action, and want to see what happened with Sydney that night. Where was she? Was she coming home? Was she at the property? It's just one of those things that's really always intrigued me. So I hope we do get to see that. It would be very interesting.
You do make a good point, especially that shot of the only shot we get of Cotton in the first film, just the footage of him being, cuffed and taken to jail or whatever it was. Yeah, he and Billy have a very similar look. The hair and just even like their faces, similar enough for sure. And Linda's saying here, Dewey responding to the call for Maureen's murder. That is
nice.
Absolutely possible. And that would probably be like, you would imagine that would be like his rookie year, because he's still a fresh-faced police officer at the beginning of the first film. Yeah, that would be a pretty emotional moment. And then you get Dr. Loomis going, "Did Michael kill? Did Michael kill again?" Sorry.
Even that impression was really good, Davey.
Oh, I try. Let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, there we go. Leto agrees. Dewey is a young officer. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
As long as they do the aging properly, the de-aging properly.
Yeah. I think they're getting better and better at that. But it is always a concern. Billy didn't look too great in Scream 5. It didn't look right. It was odd. It wasn't like Tron Legacy odd. Super Chatter's dropping a $2 super chat. Says Scream 34 2081.
God, I'll almost be dead by then, if not already dead.
Yeah, hey, you never know. Any day could be your last, right? Eli, welcome on in, Eli. I gave you the salute there a few minutes back, but thank you for sharing Leto's channel there. And Leto's blushing. All right, well, there you go. What's happening, Nightmare Files? We're all wrapped up with our ranking. You can see it there on the screen. Feel free to jump into the comments once everything airs and drop your own ranking down there if you'd like. Why does Sydney have chronic neck pain? Is that a thing?
She does hold her neck in. She holds her neck quite a lot, doesn't she?
That's Neve's like acting move, right? Like I think I heard something about, like, I don't know if it was a commentary, but I think Wes like brought that to her attention. Like, you do that a lot. And then she's like, well, now I can't stop thinking about the fact that I do that a lot. Yeah. Oh, very much so. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Oh, shit. 4-year anniversary to Halloween Kills. All right.
Why does it feel like 10 years ago that movie came out?
That's wild, huh? Yeah. Because we talk about movies to death now, I think that's what it is. Like, it's been 3 years since Halloween Ends, right? And yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
How do you?
It feels ages ago.
How do you feel about the David Gordon Green trilogy? I know you're a Halloween fan.
I am. I can do without it. I really enjoyed 2018. And then the last two, I can just they're not rewatchable for me. So I'm not the biggest fan. My Halloween movies are 1, 2, and H2O. They're my favorites. I love watching just that little trilogy there. But yeah,
you would like H2O since you're a Scream fan.
Yeah, predictable, right? But yeah, 18 was good, but Kills and Ends, I can give or take. I'll watch it if it's on, but it's not something I would jump to watch.
Yeah, it's always interesting. Like, I do love that there's the choose your own adventure. We certainly don't get that in Scream. But with Halloween, it's so interesting, like what kind of criteria to just, like, that's what I'm always curious about when people put their rankings, because I'm a big like portrayal of Michael criteria guy. So H2O and like Halloween 4 and Halloween 5, like they're like pushed, to the middle back just because of that, just because Michael is like an absolute mess. Like, unfortunately, H2O, man, the opening act is so good. I love all of that. But Michael is just weird looking in most of the movie. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the mask changes, and the CGI mask at one point is a bit questionable.
Yeah. A bit?
I don't know why they did that. It was so stupid. But
they did it because they still had, because that shot, they had the alien mask in that shot. They didn't when they did their reshoots, they forgot about that shot. So they painted
Idiots.
over the alien mask, which was really bad, which, you know, is a K&B mask. And that's why when the Jason Universe mask came out and they're like, Greg Nicotero worked on it. I'm like, Greg Nicotero's mask work is not his best work. Everything else is great. His masks, I don't know.
Not the best.
But that opening scene of H2O, though, he's got the curse mask on, and I understand why they didn't want to continue with that. Apparently, Steve Miner hated that mask and didn't even want it to be used in the opening. And I get why they don't want to like connect it in any way to any of the other movies, but I do think that's one of the better looking masks out of that earlier run of the franchise. And if the whole movie he had the curse mask, I know I would probably rank it a couple spots higher.
Yeah, it definitely had its issues with the masks and some aesthetics. I don't know. I've got mad nostalgia for that movie, and it's just got a really good feeling for me. And of course, they've got some of the Scream score in there as well.
Yes.
Which not a lot of people realize, but you can definitely hear the Marco Beltrami score, and you can feel Kevin Williamson's touch, and it's just, I don't know, I love that movie.
It's cool that it's got a unique and different feel. You know, it is. I like that about the film for sure, and it's got a nice tight run time. I do like the way Laurie's portrayed more than the way she's portrayed in the Blumhouse movies.
I do.
The whole dealing with alcoholism and all that kind of stuff. I dig that.
It fits her more.
Yeah, and Adam Arkin's performance there, I really like him quite a bit as well. He kind of grounds the whole thing and makes it feel very natural to me. Yeah. Which I certainly appreciate there. The Scream movie of the Halloween franchise. Leave it up to me to take us off topic and start talking about Halloween. It's just the friggin' worst. I'm the worst, Em. Okay, well, guys, we are all wrapped up, with the ranking here. The links for Em's channel and her Instagram is down in the description there as well. And then also the In Search of Darkness 95 to 99 affiliate link. If you want to purchase a copy of that film, use my affiliate link and it will help out the channel as well as the folks over at Creator VC. And Em, I know you had mentioned some things that are coming up on your channel, but we've got some people here that weren't here at the beginning. So do you want to remind people what you've got coming up in the immediate future on the channel here?
Yeah, sure. So this Friday, I will be uploading another top 10 video. As mentioned before, if you were here, I have been uploading a lot of top 10s the past few weeks because they tend to sort of be what people are looking for this time of the year. So this Friday, it will be top 10 horror movie scenes that were almost cut from the movies. So I've got that coming up. I do something called Ice Cream Sunday, which is all based around Scream. So this Sunday, I have got the most ridiculous Scream theories that is going to be coming out. And then next Sunday, I've got a live stream lined up for my Ice Cream Sunday. I've got a Halloween documentary coming up and also some other little bits that I have planned out and ready to go. So yeah, it's busy.
Oh, yeah. Crazy busy. And guys, just to let you know, Em is going to be hopping on for the fundraiser marathon that we'll be doing over here on Friday, October 24th. So that's going to be a heck of a day. And we're kicking it off with Em. So
yeah, look forward to it.
Yeah, we're gonna have you right back, and I'll make sure to not berate you about the same exact questions. But
you can berate me with them all you like.
We are going to talk about, for each guest that comes onto that marathon, guys, we're going to be asking them or having them tell us what their favorite horror movie is for each decade that they've been alive. So, and then we're just going to maybe discuss a couple close calls, some movies that almost made that list, and just have like a casual chat as we raise some money for the St. Mary's Food Bank out here in the Phoenix area. So, that stream is actually all ready to go on the page. You can hit your notification bell if you want to make sure that you don't miss any of that. And please go and check out Em's page. It's HORRHER. You're not going to want to miss out. I'm curious to know what your sub count is at. Guys, let's get her to 1,000 before Halloween or by Halloween. And I know a lot of you guys have already subscribed because she's been on the channel before, and we have just an amazing amount of crossover and support here in the community. She's currently at 935. All right, so we've added a couple. And yeah, as hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of her videos that are coming out. And just like I say with this channel over here, it's like, you know, we can talk and promote our own channels and all that kind of stuff, but really like what you guys do when you find a video that you like. So say you go over to HORRHER, check out a few of her videos, and one just like really hits you. Share it on your socials, whether it's like an Insta story or whatever, because I know we all have other horror lovers in our lives that maybe just haven't found, you know, all of these great channels and an awesome channel like M's here. So make sure to share. And let's get her to that thousand mark. Let's
even
let's
my mom's been on my channel, watching my channel recently and commenting on things. I'm like, oh, bless her, she's awesome. 70, but I've got her into all the Scream movies and everything.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah, you gotta have that support. I wish my parents left comments on my stuff. They watch it, but they don't leave comments. They buy the merch. I mean, that's cool too.
Oh, that's cute.
All right, guys. Thank you so much to everybody that joined us live. You guys are amazing. What an awesome group we had here, especially for kind of an odd, at least for me over here, an odd time of day. Really appreciate all the Patreon members, all the YouTube channel members, our amazing group of Death Squad mods. You guys rock. I'm going to be back. So what I have coming up on the channel, I'm actually going to be on later on tonight, but with Fachi over on Fachi Cinema. We are going to watch the producer's cut of Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, which has been climbing my rankings lately because the stuff that works in that movie really, really works. Not everything does, but I just find myself enjoying so much about it as I become devastatingly old in my life.
Terrible.
So really, really digging that one. So yeah, we're going to be watching that at about 9 p.m. Eastern over on Fachi Cinema. And then of course, you guys know me. I'm going to be back with some news pretty soon here because we've got some more news. I did a review of the Black Phone 2 with Cecil and Fuego from the Horror Show channel. So that is on the Horror Show channel page. I'll go ahead and share that on the YouTube page over here, but you won't find it on this channel. However, you can check out my out of theater reaction for that one. But that's going to wrap it up here for us. Em, thank you so much for jumping on. I know it was kind of last minute, and I fudged everything up with the link that I pinned in the chat, and I'll never forgive myself. But thank you so much for joining me. This has been great.
No, thank you for having me. It's always a good time coming on, and I always enjoy it. So I don't care if it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll jump on whenever.
Fair enough. I'm going to hold you to that, and I'm going to be like, and you have to appear on camera at 3 o'clock in the morning. No excuses. I'm just going to keep on being pushy and weird about that. All right, you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for joining both of us here today. She's been M from HORRHER, and you guys know the deal. I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.
Bye.